Hi, my name is Jessica Jacobs, and today I'm going to talk to you about making our school lunches healthier. Did you know that according to an article in U.S. News by Amanda Gardner, accessed on April 29th, that obesity rates have more than doubled among infants and toddlers aged 2 to 5, quadrupled in children aged 6 to 11, and more than tripled among adolescents aged 12 to 19. School lunches may be kid-friendly in taste, but there is nothing friendly about the nutritional value, and they may be to blame for this rise in obesity. School lunches have been a part of everyone's lives and could have a very negative impact by increasing your risk for obesity. I have been through the school system myself, and I have experienced their lunches as well as completed a nutrition class. The problem with school lunches today is that they contain very high amounts of sugar, fat, and salt, which make them extremely unhealthy. These lunches are also high in additives and preservatives. Another concern is that lunches do not provide enough fresh fruits and vegetables, but instead provide too many carbs and calories in processed foods. High amounts of sugar, fat, salt, additives, and preservatives are all major contributors to obesity. According to obesityinamerica.org, Understanding Obesity, accessed on April 29th, obesity puts children at risk for other serious diseases later in their life, including cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and hypertension. There are several different causes for these unhealthy options that are now available at school, including those chili dogs we all love. The first is convenience. It's much easier to throw a bag of French fries on a tray and bake them rather than cut up fresh fruits and vegetables. It's much easier to go get hot dogs and make those rather than prepare grilled chicken. Cost is another issue. We can see this even by going to the grocery store. Ground beef and hot dogs are both high in fat and are much cheaper than chicken or fish. Potato chips are high in fat, but very good, but they are also much more expensive than the fresh strawberries or fresh vegetables. The solution is pretty obvious to me. We need to provide a healthy diet for children. So I went to mypyramid.gov on April 29th, and I found a few guidelines for a healthy diet. One of the main guidelines that was suggested was to emphasize the fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and low-fat milk products. So for starters, schools need to increase the amounts of fresh fruits and vegetables that are offered. I know when I went to school, our portions of fruits and vegetables were tiny, and our portions of French fries and fried foods were large. So I went to cyh.com and found an example to show you. This is a dinner plate that most of us eat off of every night, unless we're getting fast food. But the diagram they showed that half of your plate needs to be made up of fruits and vegetables. So this green represents the fruits and vegetables that should be on your dinner plate. A fourth of your plate should consist of your whole grains, like your breads and your pastas and rice. So this represents your whole grains. And then the other fourth of your plate should be made up of lean proteins like fish or chicken. So this is a very easy to understand example that would be easy to show a child to teach them good habits while they're young. Schools should also use healthier ingredients, low fat and low sodium foods. Most schools have switched already their methods of preparation, but if they haven't, they should bake their foods rather than fry them. Another idea is to buy locally grown foods from those farmers. This is not only cheaper and healthier, but it supports those farmers. Fresh produce is a feasible option. I know it sounds more expensive, but you could not only buy from farmers, but as my grade school is doing, students have started their own organic garden on an unused section of playground, and this is incorporated into their science class. All of the produce from this garden is then used in their kitchen for their daily lunches. In an article found on salina.com, which I accessed on April 29th, Cusick who is the gardener that is in charge of this project, reported that the garden produced 300 cucumbers, 200 pounds of tomatoes, 175 peppers, 19 watermelons, and lots of pumpkins. So that was just in 1 year. So what are the advantages to healthy school lunches? Well, there are many good things that come from eating better. Livestrong.com, accessed on April 29th, gave these reasons. You get an increase in concentration, you gain plenty of energy, and it also helps to prevent weight gain and obesity. So there are plenty of good reasons. School lunches are very high in fat, sodium, calories, preservatives, and additives. There are countless disadvantages to this unhealthy trend, including childhood obesity. We can stop this epidemic by providing fresher ingredients and produce in our school lunch programs, buying locally, and serving more fruits and vegetables rather than overloading on carbs and fat. We must transform our school lunch program in order to prevent obesity in the future and for children to live a happy, healthier life.
Jessica.
Just a second.
You, Jessica.